Hello, I wanted to share an update of what's been going on in my journal for Grow Your Depth, Nurture Your Brilliance. I did share a video a couple of months ago about what was happening in my journal as we were getting started with it, and now we're about 4 months in, and I'm kind of amazed at how things are changing for me and how this program is really bringing me exactly what it was that I needed. Um, which is how it works. I find I teach the things that I most need to learn. So this was what I needed this year, and grow your depth, nurture your brilliance is kind of less of a class and more of a container or a structure for deepening your own practice. So for taking the tools that I teach in my other classes, taking them deeper into your own practice, and um, just as the title is, looking at how to grow your own depth so that you can nurture your own brilliance. So, when we started, and this is all the stuff that I shared in that other video, I felt like there was a lot of upheaval going on in my life. There was um, some disappointments for members of the circle. I share in detail every week, like what's going on, so they know all about all of that. And there's just like, it felt like essentially that the act of digging in, like if you're going to start to grow your depth and you're standing there on the ground with a pickaxe and you have to like dig into this layer, and it's like crusty stone and it's hard and you got to like dig into it. And so that's what it felt like, the work that I was doing then, digging in through really hard stuff. And um, so I was using the tools that we have in the circle to help work, sort of deal with what I was discovering. So my own like hurt and disappointment, or just like coming up against my own like patterns and things that I do that don't necessarily serve me, things that I'm ready to let go of, ways that I'm ready to change. So like really um, being more willing to face myself and look at the gap between how I'm showing up in the world and how I want to show up, for my life. So that was in that other video, and this was what in my page for my intention of what I want to create with Grow Your Depth, Nurture Your Brilliance. That was what came to me: space for all parts of me. And that's what this book has really become. So as the years going by, every morning I open this up and be with it. So, as you can see, I gotta remember exactly where I stopped. So we'll just somewhere around here, I think. So I don't know where I stopped in that last video where I was showing you the pages in my book. So you can see, sometimes I paint, sometimes I collage, sometimes I do mandalas, sometimes I do the little, like the energy alchemy processes that are in the classes, like the journaling classes on the unsticking station for circle members. I put those in here, but it's like each one is different. So each day is different, and it's just like what I feel, what's going on in my world, what do I need. Sometimes it's just writing. So I'm using the themes. We have every Monday, you get a new little bit of inspiration in the circle. So I use those themes to kind of fuel what it is that I'm exploring, but I also use what's happening in my life. Here, I love this. It was like, there's been so much sadness in what I was writing, and I wrote, what if it's time to write a triumphant new ending? And that's my bird of triumphant new endings. And then I came to this part here where I added this, and building resilience. I really came to this place of, okay, I've done all this digging. I've like really looking at what's going on. And I was also the first couple months just like solidifying my commitment that I'm going to do this all year. I'm going to like open this journal with the intention of growing my depth and nurturing my brilliance, and just allowing that to lead the process. So, I talk a lot in the program info about how this is the advanced practice and this is the advanced work, and the advanced work has less of a structure to it because it's about you creating the structure that you need, because your path is going to be different from anyone else's path. So there comes a time when you have to figure this out for yourself. How are you going to do this? And that's hard. It's frustrating. It's complicated. It's hard. And what I wanted for this program was to be a support to help you stay in that hard process. So even if it takes all year for you to just figure out what you want your own practice to look like, that's such a worthwhile use of the year, because when you have the practice that fits you in doing this work, then the sky is the limit for you. Because I mean, ultimately the aim of growing your depth is to be more in touch with the inner resources that you have, and you have infinite inner resources. So when you are connected to infinite inner resources, then you can do anything you want, right? So this is big work, and it's not simple, and it's not fast, and it's not easy, and it's not clear. Sometimes it's very complicated. So after all of this work of just kind of like not even always knowing what I was doing, but just like exploring how I was feeling, then I came to this place of like, okay, I see it now. I see what I've been doing. I'm building resilience. And by just showing up every day and being more willing to stay present with what's going on, even when it's really uncomfortable or when I don't know what to do with it, that helps me build resilience. That helps me build my connection to myself and my presence in my inner world. And then I wrote that I wanted to call in purpose, creativity, and delight. And those are the qualities I decided to start working with more intentionally, more fully, to help guide me in what was coming next. So then still more of the same, exploring. This is where things started to really change for me. Now, I was also doing a class with Chris Seidel, her Painting with Fire class. And if you're in the circle, there's a really fantastic interview with Chris in the Advanced Creative Badassery Resource Library. Chris Seidel is an amazing, amazing person. She's just amazing. And I did her first online class, which is intuitive painting. So I did some of the paintings in here. And this is where it's like everything from this first part started coming together and shifting what's happening in the outer part ready. So this is where I am today. And it feels like it's all coming together. So it's only been 4 months since we started this program, and it feels like my life is changing in really really cool ways, but in a really grounded way, which is an interesting thing, sort of just in terms of feeling like my main intentions are around feeling more solid and sure of myself, so having more trust in myself. Enjoying the journey more was the other part of my intention of enjoying my life more, because there were, I don't want to get into the long stories of it, but there were some things that had to be let go for some of the changes that I've made in my life as I've moved along the path of being more true to myself. So I've been reconnecting with friends, making new friends, becoming a part of new communities, reconnecting with some old communities, just kind of being more out there, having more fun, and just sort of feeling more alive in some ways, just feeling like, feeling more alive, having more fun, which is really, really cool. So yeah, I feel like at the end of last year, it feels really weird for me to say this because I love my work so much. It's weird to say, well, I've been probably been working too much, because I'm so lucky to be able to do the work that I do. But it's true also, even though I'm very lucky and I enjoy every second of it, I also there's a need for for balance. And so I feel like that's what I've been really coming into, and that's what all of this work is helping me to do, that in a way that feels really grounded and um, just happy, you know? So what I'm really feeling is somehow more me, right? And that's the natural outcome of the grow your depth part. You become more connected with you on the inside than on the outside. You're just going to kind of be more you. And I don't really have the right words to describe that. And I've been working on like writing a blog post about where I'm at with that. And I can't. It feels like there aren't words, because it's just such a strong feeling, and it can't quite be described. But it's really cool, just that sense of being more who you really are, putting more of yourself out there into how you live your life. I mean, that also includes for me that I'm sewing all of my own clothes. I made this Brontosaurus shirt. um, that that sense of just being more true to yourself in little and big ways, and then being more authentic in how you're living. So those are um, the main gifts that I've been getting from this, from showing up more fully every day. And yeah, I'm really happy. I'm looking forward to what comes next. And yeah, I'm really grateful for each of you who are on the journey with me too. I love our weekly sharing circles and being able to see where everyone's at, and be able to see all the stuff that we're all learning along the way. It's really, really cool to be able to be doing this with you.